Hello, ladies, and welcome to September's Stampastack. And for these cards that we're going to be creating, we're going to be using the Painted Christmas, the designer series paper from page 16 and 17 from the mini catalog. Okay, love this paper. It is really nice. And what you're going to find in your packages, there's a package of ribbons. There's a long green ribbon, and that is to be cut for 5 of the cards that we're going to be creating. The other ribbons are for the other 5 cards, and I will go through and let you know what those ones are. There is also, I did create some different little tags for you so you can decide on which ones you want to use. So I wanted to let you know. The stamp set I'm going to be using is Christmas to Remember on page 19. So the sentiments I'm going to be using is from that set. I think it's a really lovely set. The ink pads that you're going to use, you want something like Evening Evergreen, Cherry Cobbler. There's one card that will, you can use the Real Red. You can always use black. If you don't have any of those colors, those are mainly for the sentiments for that. So what's going to happen is I'm going to go through the cards with you, and you'll notice that for cards number in your package A, there are different designer series papers that you can use. I'm going to use certain ones on certain papers because I thought they matched much better. You can definitely use whatever you like. It's up to you. And the coordinating ribbon, I'll let you know as we go through. You'll see as it comes together. In package B, or number 2, the cards are all the same. Same like the first package. There are different designer series paper that you can use. You can mix and match. It's totally up to you. But I thought the ones that I'm going to be creating, I like how they match together. So just to let you know, if you have any questions or you have any problems, drop me an email at northernstamper.com and I'll help you out. Hopefully this video tutorial will help you walk through. I am going to be creating PDF tutorials, and they will come out after the launch date for this class. So you will always have access to this link, and you can watch the videos as many times as you like. So if you have any feedback or you have any questions, let me know. I'd love to hear what you have to say. And in the meantime, let's get creating with those cards. I love the suite. I think it's fantastic. Love the colors. Very, very Christmassy, I think. And this will knock out 10 cards in no time. Very simple. Don't forget to sign up for the next Stampastack, which will be in October. And we will be using completely different designer series paper and different layouts. So I hope you enjoy this, and let me know what you think, and let's get going onto the creating those cards. Hello, and welcome to September's Stampastack with Northern Stamper. I wanted to thank you very much for joining me on this class, this video recorded class. And this way you can always rewind or rewatch the videos whenever you feel like you need to. So let's get started. And inside your package, you will notice that there is a cover letter. So it just tells you that we're going to be designing 10 cards, 5 of one design and 5 of another design. Now we're going to be using the Painted Christmas suite called Painted Christmas. It's the designer series paper found on page 17 of the July to December mini catalog. And if you wish to have more of this, you can always let me know and we can order it for you. I love this paper. I think it's fantastic. It has really nice dark colors of green. There is cherry red and real red, and it looks really fantastic. And actually, this is one of the cards we are going to be creating. So there is just one slight change in one of the cards. I will be replacing some of the designer series paper from the Painted Christmas with the Peaceful Deer because as I was creating them, we're going to use different designer series paper for each card. But when I came to the end and I was trying to put together one of the designer series paper. I just felt it didn't quite pop the way I thought it should. So we're just going to be replacing the Peaceful Deer designer series paper because I thought it looked really, really striking with the black. And that's, I hope you don't mind. And I hope you enjoy that one. I will be doing a live class on Sunday, September the 26th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to join me, I will send the video link in an email, and it will be run off of WebEx, just to let you know. So what we're going to be doing, you can use whatever stamp set you have for sentiments and stuff like that, but I'm going to be using A Christmas to Remember. I love that one. That's new in the mini catalog, and I think it works well because it has a huge variety of different sentiments for the holiday season. Now, the suggested ink colors you can use for this class, Evening Evergreen, Cherry Cobbler, Early Espresso, or if you don't have any of that and you just have black, then just use black. That would be great too. It is more for the sentiments and for that, the ink pad. Okay. So if you have any questions, drop me a line at northernstamper@gmail.com. Don't forget to join me for the next October 31st Stampastack, where we will be doing 10 more cards using different designs and different papers and different stamp sets. So let me know what you think. Next Stampastack, October 31st. You can drop me an email or take a look on my events page, and that is it. So thank you very much, and let's get started on our cards. You will notice that for this time, what I did is I divided the packages into two. So one for package number 1, I believe it is this one that we're going to be creating. And inside you have some tags, pre-cut designer series paper. I did emboss the basic white for you, and there are a variety of different colors. So if you're going through your packages, that's what you're going to be looking for. Also, you will notice that there is a little package of ribbons in there, and that will be divided between the two sets, designs of cards. Okay, so inside, as I mentioned, there should be 5 of the basic white cardstock, which is embossed, and it is with the little pine trees. This is, so the embossing folder does, it's a smaller one, so it fits through the mini Stamp and Emboss machine. So I had to do one side, flip it over, and do another. So there should be 5 of those. Okay, let's put those over here. There are 5 different designer series papers that you can that we have, and I do have them already set aside for specific colors, but you don't have to follow what I'm doing. I thought these looked really nice, and we will be going through them. If you like one side better than the other, go right ahead and use that. Okay, so there are the designer series papers for that. And there are, the different color cardstock. So there is Evening Evergreen, which is the dark color one. There are 2 that are Cherry Cobbler. Okay. There is one that is a soft suede, and I'll show you which one that matches to. So there again, the Cherry Cobbler, and this is the Garden Green cardstock. So what we're going to do is I'm actually going to take my pieces and I'm going to match them onto the card and card base that I like. So as I mentioned, you don't have to follow. If you prefer to have this one on the garden green, then go right ahead. So that looks really nice. It was originally designed to be with the Cherry Cobbler, but if you want it on a different one, that's fine by me. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to start with the soft suede, because I know that that one matches the ones with the little pine cones on it. It looks really nice with the soft suede because it picks up the brown from the pine cones. Or if you prefer to use the other side, that's great too. So I have matched this one with the soft suede and the pine cones. Okay, so I'm going to put these two aside, this aside, and I'm going to go to the next one. And we have the designer series paper with the little bits of holly on there. So that will also match one of the cherry cobblers, if you like. So I'm going to place that together and put that aside. So as I'm going to keep going through, I have this one that has kind of like ferns and stuff like that, or I could flip it over with the garden green, evening evergreen, and use either side. So this one could either be a Christmas card if I want, or a birthday card. Let's place it on this side with the evening evergreen. Okay. And we have two left. So there is the red and that one. So your pieces that you may have left over could be like this one here. You may want to match it with whatever one that you prefer. So I'm going to place this one with the cherry cobbler. And I'm actually going to place this one with the evening evergreen. And I'm going to match it with some of the red ribbon, and that'll look really nice. You will notice that the card bases are not scored. So what you're going to do is you're going to turn it landscape, and you are going to score each of the card bases. So you're going to place it in your trimmer, put it at 4 1/4. And for each one, you're just going to score the card base. So I'm going to let you do that, and I will see you in just a second. All right, so we got everything scored, and I'm going to start with the soft suede and the little pine cones and such like that. Now, when I look at the card, so I'm going to take my embossed piece of basic white, and if I lay it down on the one side, that's where it's scored, and I place the other piece of cardstock, it should match right up to the end of the card here. So it should be 5 1/4. Okay. And inside I can place, this must be the wrong size. There we go. Also, the piece of designer series paper should be the same height as this matte piece of cardstock. So if I put it, it will go straight to the end on each side. So let's glue that down. And we are going to continue on. So I'm going to put some glue down. Don't need that much. And I'm going to have it, just to move that out of the way, so that it is on each side, goes right from the top, and it's flush on the top and the bottom, and there's a little bit of a mat on each side. So what I'm going to do is, in my package of ribbon that you have, you can use whatever color that you want. This long piece of green, it does set aside, you need to have some set aside for a little strip for cards in package number 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that tells me I got 5, and the rest I can use up. Okay, so this is for package number 2. Just going to set that aside. So what I'm going to do on this one is I'm just going to take it across. I'm going to use the evening evergreen ribbon, and I'm going to wrap that around, and I'm going to add some tape onto the back, snip it, and just place it around. Okay, just add it like that. That looks really nice already. It picks up the colors in the pine cone area, and I'm just going to add a little bit of a knot here. If you want, you can make a bow, but I want a little bit left over for another piece that I have. So I'm going to make a little knot, slide it around, angle cut it, and you're going to do that for all of the cards in package number A. So the steps are all exactly the same. I think it's time to start sharpening the scissors. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my dimensionals. Now I'm coming to the end of my dimensionals, so I'm just going to use those that are on the end. Always use them up. Add some dimensionals to pop this up. And it will go on to the basic white embossed. Okay. Now I want a little bit on the left and I want a little wider on the right. And then what I can do is just pop that onto the card base. Whoops. And I'm going to do my sentiments all at the same time. Okay, pop that onto the card base. And that is the first one. So we're going to repeat that for all the other cards in package number A. Love that. Okay, so let's continue on. All right, so within your package, you should have some a variety of labels. I believe I just had packed some in, and I am just grabbing with whatever labels I have laying around. So mine look slightly different than what yours are. So, but they do the same purpose. So what I'm going to do is I am going to kind of go through some of them and lay down the labels that I want to use on each one. And so maybe this one will go like that. That one will have it like that. And I'll just pop some on. That one's a little bit too big. So there's nothing wrong saying that I can't turn this and then use my label going that way to open up. So maybe that's what I'll do, is on a couple of these ones with my larger labels, I will just turn the card and pop on a label like that. Okay, so yours may be slightly different than mine, but it doesn't matter. So let's pop some on. So let's start with that. I've got them matched up, and I'm going to actually use the same color ink as on this one. So this one is Cherry Cobbler. I'll do some Cherry Cobbler sentiments on that. All right, so as I mentioned, I'm going to be using Christmas to Remember. I just love all the stamp sets, the different greetings on here. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to choose whichever one fits on to my little label. So I'm just going to actually lay it down to make sure it fits. And if it doesn't, I will just place on another one. So that one looks pretty good. So get a little larger block than that. And let's ink it up with Cherry Cobbler and stamp it on straight up and down. There we go. I'll place it on here. Now in your pack, you should have some little red embellishments. You can add them on as you wish. So let's get this popped on with some dimensionals. Okay. All right, did everybody get through that package number 1? This is going to be package number 2. There are a little bit more pieces on this one, so let's get through and see what we have. As I mentioned, as the first one, you will notice that there is a variety of different cardstocks for you to designer series paper that for you to choose. Okay, so there's both sides. I have matched them up for you, and there should be, when you pull it apart, there should be a long piece for cardstock. So that is the mat around here. Whoops, bring that in. That's the mat around here. And there will be a coordinating designer series paper on top. There is a small little 4x3, and that's the mat for this one here. And there should be a larger 4x5, and that's the mat for that larger one there. Also in your pack should be some white cardstock that is 4x5 and 1/4. I do hope I placed that in. If not, take a look in your package here. I believe they are here, right here in your package. Now you'll find that there is quite a bit of those. So it is for the inside of your card if you wanted to decorate the inside of your card. So let's pop some of these out. And there are some of the labels. So one is for the inside and one is for the outside. So again, you'll notice that these have not been scored in the middle. So let's go ahead and score those in the center at 4 1/4. So now that you've gone through and you've scored them all, you will notice that there are 2 cherry cobblers, 2 real reds, and 1 soft succulent. And let's match that up. So first what we're going to do is we're going to take out the one for the deer. So one of the deer, if you want to on the cherry cobbler, it's up to you. But I found it works really nice with the real red. So we're just going to pop these two together so that I know that they're taken up. So, and that's on the real red. So let's place those aside. So there is a strip, 3x5, and a piece of brown, and the matting pieces. So got them placed aside. Okay, let's work with the real red. So there's the real red and there's the matching pieces. I'm going to have the little cherries on this one. So if I match, it's going to go on the larger one. So there's a nice frame around that. And you can, as you go through, oops, let's actually get the ones that are a little easier out. All right, so, and then what I'm going to have, I've matched with this one, with the little berries, I have this type of green. It looks like the pine needles and stuff like that. So that's going to match with that. Now, there are large berries on the one side of designer series paper, which is the opposite of the back on that one. So I'm going to have these ones placed together. And then the next one I'm going to do is another cherry cobbler. And for that cherry cobbler, so I got those pieces for the mats. There is the one that has a bit of brown in it with the little leaves on it and the herringbone on it. So I'm going to have that one. I'm going to match them up. For the next cherry cobbler, I have, oops, sorry, there's the mats. I have this gorgeous berry and leaves, very soft color of green, and then a herringbone again. And the very last one, which has the green, and that's the one with the pine cones. I'm going to have my mats. There are the pine cones, the back of the greens, or if you have a different one that would maybe a brown, I have this left over. And the little strip of pine cones, or if you want the red on the other side, it's up to you. So now that I have them all matched up, let's get started. Just like the first card, we are going to do these all exactly the same. The only difference will be the designer series paper. So I'm going to take the designer series paper from the largest piece, add some adhesive, and just add it on. Looks like the pine cones are going up. There we go. Go on to the next one. So you may prefer the colors a little differently. Move them around as you would prefer. There's no way saying that mine is the right way, whatever works for you. Okay. And the last one should go and sit nicely all the way across. There we go. Okay. So I have them down like that. I'm going to bring back in the card base. Okay. And there is a piece of white that goes on the card base. So I'm going to add that first. The nice frame around. And I am going to add the first piece, the largest piece, I'm just going to glue straight down. The next piece I'm going to use with dimensionals because I'm going to pop it up a little bit. Off to the right side. I want to see a nice edge along there and some more dimensionals. Now I'm just going to add, you're wondering why I'm doing tape on one side and a dimensional on the other, because it's already popped up. I'm going to put it straight across. And this way, it doesn't look kind of wonky. So it pops up on this one, but lays flat on the second one. So I'm going to do the exact same for the next cards. And I'm going to be using, for this, the sentiment, I'm just going, for all the same ones, I'm going to use "'Tis the Season." I like this one because it is more like a negative and a positive. So the words are not the ones that are highlighted. So I'm going to be using some cherry cobbler on 2 of them. So I need to do 2 cherry cobbler. Ink it up. Oh, let's turn it over. Try again. There we go. Oh, there must be a little bit. There is a little bit of dirt. So there we go. Take that off. 2. Still there? Oh my goodness. That is a sparkle from something. Try that again. There, that's much better. I'm going to make 2 of those in cherry cobbler. Now I know I have 2 that are in real red. So let's make 2 of those in real red. Okay. Now the reason I'm using this, and it's going to be really easy to cut out. Okay. There we go, in real red. I'm going to stamp off a little bit. And the last one is in black, and I think I'm going to do that one in real red also, so it pops out. Okay, so I got my sentiments, and what I'm going to do next, because this is pretty simple, I'm just going to cut these out with my snips. Actually, make sure I got the little pieces off, and carefully just cut. And there we go. That is the second set of our Stampastack. All the same card design, but with different designer series paper. What do you think of those ones? Let me know what you think, and I hope you'll join me for the next Stampastack, which will be in October. Thank you again, and enjoy.